So I just wanted to give y'all that finished product as promised. Got it in, it's on there nice and tight. Got them screwed in, not banjo tight, but once I get it tight, maybe like a quarter of a turn, make it nice and snug. Everything is good. I'm actually about to wipe all of this down, but as of right now, we got it. That was the main thing that I wanted to show you guys, is that it could be done. Again, it's just a little extra stuff you gotta do. I was gonna change my belt anyway, so got a new Gates belt on deck. But yeah, just you gotta remove the fuse box, 10mm screw here. You gotta remove your coolant reservoir. That's two 10mm bolts, one here, one here. And yeah, that'll give you full access to get into your thermostat and get it changed, baby. You know, hopefully this helps. Just trying to look out. Yeah, I got the Nismo silicone radiator hoses. Alright, peeps. So now we on to the next plan of movement. We got the thermostat in. That repair is done. We got the radiator hooked up. Lower and upper radiator hose. We have our radiator fans painted back in, all the connections in. Always got to double check and make sure your connections in. Now we're going in to deal with the tune-up right now. So now, of course, first thing, always want to disconnect your battery. Always want to disconnect your battery when it comes into getting ready to do the tune-up and you're unplugging, replugging anything. In this case, definitely always good to unplug the battery, negative terminal, you're good. And now you can check my other video that'll show you how to get the intake manifold off and pretty much what bolts and what not to go to. So we just going to jump right in. Alright, so what we're going to do, you got your 3 ignition coils right up front. You see I got 1, 2, 3 disconnected. Then these are the 3 in the back that you can't see, that's covered by the intake manifold. We're going to disconnect them. Yep. And once you push in on the tab, this one in the back is a little tricky. With this one on the back left, you actually have to take the ignition coil out and then you'll be able to disconnect it. So that's no biggie. We'll take this last one out once we get to it. And right here behind this hose is going to be your Pcv valve. And I'll get in there when I get that off and I'll show y'all that in a second. We got the EGR right over here. If you need to clean it, now would be a good time. Always good to clean the EGR valve. If you have the throttle body cleaner, that's preferably what I would use to get in there, clean inside. If you have electrical cleaner, the electrical spray the connection port. That's just me. And again, with the Max, it's kind of straightforward. You need your ignition coils, spark plugs, Pcv valve. If you have a stock air filter, you're gonna need a stock air filter, and that pretty much is gonna be your tune-up for a Max. So I'm gonna get in here and I'm gonna get everything bolted and get stuff out, and I'm gonna show you how I do it when I start doing my tune-up. Alright, so we got the first one out. Again, you're gonna need a 10mm socket to go on that bolt. I loosened all the bolts already. When I take the actual ignition coil out, what I like to do is just leave the bolt in there, sit it to the side, let that know that's my first one. Gonna come in here. Like I said, I already have the bolts already loose, they're out already. So now it's just a pull and a twist. You see, it might be a bolt. Let me hold on to that. And a pull and a twist. And now, just in case this does happen, that's not a big deal, that's not an issue. Just get your needle nose pliers and I'll show you how to get that out. Alright, so now you've taken off the top portion of the ignition coil, and let's say the boot itself got stuck into the ignition coil socket where you go in and oops, sorry, you get your spark plug. All you got to do, but you have to have a pair of needle nose pliers, is you're gonna just simply just move in on the side. You're gonna grip it, turn. Once you turn, that's what's gonna break it loose from the spark plug and pull, and it comes out. So I just want to show you guys, sometimes when you have the aftermarket ignition coils, the boot might come off the spark, the ignition coil, not a problem. That's how you get it off. Alright, what's going on, guys? So pretty much we have the ignition coils out now. All that's left to do is to actually go in and get the spark plug. So now what you're gonna need is a spark plug socket, and that is what I have. If you have a 04 to 08 Maxima, you're gonna need a spark plug socket. Pretty much this one is a good look. This one securely actually fits on to the spark plug, so when you're ready to go in, it has actually a little magnetic tip on it, so when you lock it in, it kind of locks in. And this is the perfect time if you want to clean your valve covers. Perfect, because mine are filthy, so I'm probably going to end up cleaning those a little bit. And then what we're doing in the front, for the front 3 ignition coils, we're going to do for the rear 3 ignition coils. And that's pretty much how you're going to get your tune-up. I'll show you when we're extracting. So now when you have your, oh, that's another thing too, I already have the socket in there connected onto the spark plug. So what you're gonna need is a nice extension. I actually have 2 decent sized extensions, so you can get in there, lock it on, and now all it is a light turn, and we've broken it loose. Now what you can do is, instead of using a ratchet after that, what you can do is, once you break it loose, is just use your fingers to unscrew it. Really don't need a ratchet for that, unless you're a lazy fuck, but hey, to each his own. And a little bit of screwing. Make sure it's fully screwed out. And it should come right out. There's our old ignition coil. Done. We got the box of goods. Let's get it. Alright, so we got all 6 spark plugs, all 6 ignition coils out. Give y'all what that looks like. We also got the Pcv valve out right back there. We got the front ones out. Now we got the new ones ready to put the new spark plugs in. Give you a comparison. Old ones, new ones, yeah. Alright, so clearly see it's time to change. I mean, I recommend changing your spark plugs honestly every like 30,000 miles. Like, you don't need to do the 50, 60,000 miles and all of that and really burn it out. So every 30,000 miles, tune up. Or I mean, your car tell you when it's time for a tune up, baby. And got the Pcv valve. Oop. So what I like to do too when I'm coming in, right, I just like to take the spark plug and drop it in. Again, I know y'all might say, oh, that might damage the electrode on the bottom. I've been doing it for years. My spark plugs have always been good. I feel like that gets it into its seated housing without really having to force it in. I mean, you can always misthread it, and that's why I say too, before you go in with the ratchet and try and start ratcheting it down and tightening it, I say you just take your extension, take your socket, and you put it on there now, and then you try and twist it in so you can align the threading so you don't misthread anything. So just a little heads up for you guys. Stay tuned. Alright, so we done did the whole swap. We got the new spark plugs in there. We waiting to get the ignition coils in right now. But I just wanted to go over one thing with you guys. Please don't over tighten your spark plugs. Like once you get it in there and you get it down and it's tight, once you get it to where you feel like it's tight, let me show y'all what I'm talking about. So you got it right and it's tight. I'm talking like once you got it tight and it can't go no more, you need just about that much to tighten it down. Quarter turn right here. From right here, boom, that's perfect enough to tighten it down. You don't want to over tighten your spark plugs, because then you can have a problem again when it comes time to take them out. So I just wanted to share that little bit of info with you guys. Yo man, ignition coils and spark plugs are certified. We are locked and loaded. We're in here, tune up, done. New Pcv valve, we already got that on and in. Yeah man, let's get it. Like I said, now the next thing is to start on this ABS stuff, man. I keep y'all in the loop on how that go, but I just wanted to give y'all that thermostat and that tune up just so y'all have that in play, man. Stay tuned.